I should have known there was something fishy going on then. He loved that motorbike. What was he giving it to me for? Wouldn't he need it any more? Fact was, it was too easy to trace. Dumbledore knew he'd been the Potter's secret keeper. Black knew he was going to leave to run for it that night. Knew it was a matter of hours before the Ministry was after him. But what if I'd given Harry to him, eh? I bet he'd have pitched him off the bike halfway out to sea. His best friend's son. Bet when a wizard goes over to the dark side, there's nothing and no one that matters to him anymore. A long silence followed Hagrid's story. Then Madame Rosmerta said with some satisfaction, "But he didn't manage to disappear, did he? The Ministry of Magic caught up with him next day." "Alas, if only we had," said Fudge bitterly. "It was not we who found him, it was little Peter Pettigrew, another of the Potter's friends. Maddened by grief, no doubt, and knowing that Black had been the Potter's secret keeper, he went after Black himself." "Pettigrew? That fat little boy who was always tagging around after them at Hogwarts?" said Madame Rosmerta. "Hero worshipped Black and Potter," said Professor McGonagall. "Never quite in their league talent-wise. I was often rather sharp with him. You can imagine how I regret that now." She sounded as though she had a sudden head cold. "There now, Minerva," said Fudge kindly. "Pettigrew died a hero's death. Eyewitnesses, muggles of course, we wiped their memories later, told us how Pettigrew cornered Black. They say he was sobbing. Lily and James, Sirius, how could you? And then he went for his wand. Well, of course, Black was quicker, blew Pettigrew to smithereens." Professor McGonagall blew her nose and said thickly, "Stupid boy, foolish boy. He was always hopeless at dueling. Should have left it to the Ministry." "I tell you, if I'd got to Black before little Pettigrew did, I would have messed around with wands. I'd have ripped him limb from limb," Hagrid growled. "You don't know what you're talking about, Hagrid," said Fudge sharply. "Nobody but trained hit wizards from the magical law enforcement squad would have stood a chance against Black once he was cornered. I was junior minister in the Department of Magical Catastrophes at the time, and I was one of the first on the scene after Black murdered all those people. I will never forget it. I still sometimes dream about it. A crater in the middle of the street so deep it had cracked the sewer below. Bodies everywhere. Muggles screaming, and Black standing there laughing with what was left of Pettigrew in front of him. A heap of blood-stained robes and a few fragments." Fudge's voice stopped abruptly. There was the sound of 5 noses being blown. "Well, there you have it, Rosmerta," said Fudge thickly. "Black was taken away by 20 members of the magical law enforcement squad, and Pettigrew received the Order of Merlin, first class, which I think was some comfort to his poor mother. Black's been in Azkaban ever since." Madame Rosmerta let out a long sigh. "Is it true he's mad, Minister?" "I wish I could say that he was," said Fudge slowly. "I certainly believe his master's defeat unhinged him for a while. The murder of Pettigrew and all those muggles was the action of a cornered and desperate man. Cruel. Pointless. Yet I met Black on my last inspection of Azkaban. You know, most of the prisoners in there sit muttering to themselves in the dark. There's no sense in them. But I was shocked at how normal Black seemed. He spoke quite rationally to me. It was unnerving. You'd have thought he was merely bored, asked if I'd finished with my newspaper. Cool as you please. Said he missed doing the crossword. Yes, I was astounded at how little effect the Dementors seemed to be having on him. And he was one of the most heavily guarded in the place, you know. Dementors outside his door day and night." "But what do you think he's broken out to do?" said Madame Rosmerta. "Good gracious, Minister, he isn't trying to rejoin you-know-who, is he?" "I dare say that is his, eventual plan," said Fudge evasively. "But we hope to catch Black along before that. I must say, you-know-who alone and friendless is one thing, But give him back his most devoted servant, and I shudder to think how quickly he'll rise again. There was a small chink of glass on wood. Someone had set down their glass. You know, Cornelius, if you're dining with the headmaster, we'd better head back up to the castle, said Professor McGonagall. One by one, the pairs of feet in front of Harry took the weight of their owners once more. Hems of cloaks swung into sight, and Madame Rosmuerta's glittering heels disappeared behind the bar. The door of the Three Broomsticks opened again. There was another flurry of snow, and the teachers had disappeared. Harry? Ron's and Hermione's faces appeared under the table. They were both staring at him, lost for words. Okay, kids, that was the end of Chapter 10, The Marauder's Map. It was quite a lengthy chapter. I hope you enjoyed it. And the next chapter that I will read to you is Chapter 11, and it's titled The Firebolt. I will have that chapter on Google Classroom for you on Friday, which will be tomorrow. All right. So I have a little treat for you. Since you stayed listening to me for this very long chapter, I want to show you what I ended up purchasing online. It's a coffee mug, and if you can see here, Master gave Dobby a sock. Dobby is free! Yes, kids, I got a Dobby is free coffee mug. I could not resist. It is really beautiful. There's another side to it too. Look at that. Look at that. Free the house elves. How cool is this? I had my morning coffee today with this coffee mug. So just the cool little memorabilia that the Harry Potter world has for you. But I saw it online and I just could not resist, and I ended up buying it, and it's pretty cool. So add to my coffee mug collection. Dobby is free! Yay! All right, kiddos. So I hope you enjoyed today's reading of Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, and I will see you in the next Harry Potter video. Happy reading!